When I was 10, my parents brought me and my brother Tom on a family trip to New York City. And I had no idea what that was. And I remember in the taxi cab coming from the airport into the town, looking out the window and just having this feeling. And I told my parents, Mama, Daddy, when I'm a grown-up, I'm gonna live here forever. And they said, oh, honey, that's so cute. And I said, no, it's not cute. It's an announcement.
Knock, knock. Hello, Ena? Hey!
Hey, Leland. How you doing?
It is so good to see you here in New York. Thank you for having us up.
I'm so glad you could come.
And what a beautiful home.
Not only is this my home, it's also my studio. This is an old loft building.
My goodness.
It used to be a shoe factory, but now it's an art factory.
That you're the proprietor of?
I guess, yeah.
Ena, your paintings, to me, suggest a illustrator feel that creates a sense of energy and power.
That's very interesting. Most people don't pick up on that kind of vibe that's in my work that comes from, you know, perhaps how deeply images go in the mind of a child reading books for the first time. And like E.B. White's book, Stuart Little, or Charlotte's Web, Garth Williams illustrated those. And my dad used to read me those books every night. And I think that those illustrations are really deep in my impulses as a painter now. And that there's something about the fluidity and just the beauty of black and white lines. Is a picture that has an idea in it. And then you can put contemporary vital painting on top of that. And then you've got this kind of DJ mashup that's something new.
So when we look here, take us to your workspace. Do you feel clarity? Do you see clarity as you approach the canvas?
No.
Or are you improvising when your energy hits you?
I'm a fairly scheduled person, as most self-employed people need to be. So usually when I come in here, I just see what is wrong or what I feel needs to be worked on or corrected. So these two paintings that I just started, to me, are unresolved. I'm in the middle of these two trips and they're very different. So I'm doing them both at the same time because if one of them is not going well, I can go to the other one.
The work on the right, is this another interpretation of Central Park?
Yes. All of these Snow in Central Park paintings are from a collection of thousands of photographs I've taken up there. Whenever we've had a big snowstorm, I always take the subway up to Central Park. It's very easy to get around when there's a blizzard in the subway.
I've got to bounce back to the city, right? Because here we are in this beautiful flat, in this antique building. We hear the construction, we hear, well, there's always work in New York, like that's not new, right? This is a quiet space. How is this feeding you?
I wanted to have a kind of membrane that I could go inside of. To me, it would be really fun to be in the middle of the beehive, but I wanted to be able to just walk into my place and get away from the beehive. So that's what that's about.
Yeah. Bringing our initial contact together is interesting to talk about for a moment. Tell us about your late husband, Joel, and his collection, and getting in touch with us, and how that came to be in your mind.
Well, when Joel passed away, he left us an enormous collection.
And who is Joel? Tell us about Joel for a moment before we go into his things.
So I was married to Joel Siegel, who was the movie critic for ABC television for Good Morning America. And he was also the theater critic for the local ABC affiliate here. And his refuge had always been history. And he had a master's degree in American history from UCLA. So he had been collecting toys that he remembered from his childhood and things that he wanted as a child but he couldn't afford because his family was very poor. And so he would collect, 100 little Orphan Annie plastic cups and things like that. He kind of went overboard. Our son Dylan, who was 9 years old when Joel passed away, and I discussed this over a few years, and we decided to sell some of those things. And I knew that a hero of my brother, Tom Wisnant, in North Carolina, in Chapel Hill, Tom was in awe of some guy named Leland Little. And so we looked at the place you have created there, and we couldn't believe it. And we were just thrilled. And we were like, well, if he will accept us, there's no other thing we'd rather do than work with him to disperse this collection to the right places.
What was your emotion when you saw the catalog on the auction website and you saw all these things being available to anybody who would want them?
It was a slightly complicated emotion because you see these things that you have known and handled and loved throughout your family life, and then you see it professionally photographed on your computer screen. And it is kind of odd, but it was a good feeling because I felt that this was the path forward for these worldly objects, which I'm not necessarily wanting to carry with me forward for decades. And so it was a good feeling. In New York City, it was new, it was very unfamiliar, but it was that same feeling of being at home that I have in North Carolina. It's a very sweet city, New York City. It's a very kind, giving city if you just look and feel it.